People have been led to believe that a car will start to fall apart before it even reaches 150,000 miles. But the truth is, older cars built the old way can run all the way to 300,000 miles. Marketing has slowly changed the way we think. It has lowered our expectations. It has made us believe that modern cars failing early is normal. And over time, it has trained people to accept habits that quietly damage their own engines. According to data from S&P Global Mobility, the average age of vehicles in the United States reached 12.6 years in 2024. According to lubrication studies, as much as 75% to 90% of engine wear happens in just the first few minutes after a cold start. So if your car dies before it should, there's a good chance it's not bad luck. It's how the car is being used. In this video, I'm going to expose the everyday habits that seem harmless, but are quietly destroying your engine. 5 daily driving mistakes. A car doesn't die because it's old. It dies because it's been abused. Modern corporations thrive on consumer ignorance, because that ignorance is what drives their profits. So let's start with 5 mistakes in your daily driving habits. 1. The brutality of start and go. Cold start abuse. How many times have you jumped into your car, turned the key, and hit the gas right away because you were in a hurry? Car companies love it when you do that. They've trained you to see it as convenience. But to a mechanic, that's attempted murder. According to engineering data from Ural, between 75% and 90% of all mechanical wear in an engine's lifetime happens in just the first few minutes after startup. Why? Gravity. When your car sits overnight, and all the oil drains back down into the oil pan, leaving critical metal surfaces dry and exposed. Take engines like the Ford Powerstroke 6.0 liters or Ford Powerstroke 6.4 liters. They are beasts when it comes to torque, but they are extremely sensitive to oil pressure. If you rev the engine while it's still cold, the hydraulic injectors get hammered by unstable pressure, and that expensive turbocharger will scream metal grinding against metal because there's no oil film to protect it. Even legends like the Toyota 22RE, known for being nearly indestructible, still need a few precious seconds for oil to circulate up to the valve train. So don't listen to salesmen who tell you modern cars don't need warm-up time. Wait at least 30 seconds to 1 minute for oil pressure to stabilize. Then drive gently, like you're handling something valuable, until the engine reaches proper operating temperature. 2. The risky game of running on empty. Many people have the habit of waiting until the fuel needle drops into the red or the warning light comes on before they stop for gas. They think they're saving time, but in reality, they're slowly cooking a fuel pump that costs hundreds of dollars to replace. Modern fuel pumps are not like the old mechanical ones mounted on the engine. They sit inside the fuel tank, and they rely on that cool gasoline to keep them lubricated and properly cooled. When you run the tank low, the pump is exposed to air. Temperature spikes, and worse, it starts pulling in all the dirt, rust, and debris that has settled at the bottom of the tank for years. The result? Clogged injectors, rough idle, hesitation, and a long, expensive repair bill. Never let your fuel level drop below a quarter tank. That's not spending, that's insurance for your fuel system. 3. Abusing engine braking and automatic transmissions, engine braking and the LSPI disaster. I get it. Everyone likes feeling in control. But if you're driving an older automatic and you have a habit of forcing downshifts to slow the car on a downhill, instead of using the brakes, you're playing a dangerous game with your wallet. Forcing a transmission into a lower gear at high speed creates extreme vacuum in the intake. That vacuum can pull engine oil past worn valve seals that have hardened over time. Even worse, it puts sudden torsional load on the transmission bands and clutch packs. Brakes are designed to stop the car. Brake pads are cheap and easy to replace. A transmission is not. Let the braking system do its job. Use engine braking only when necessary, not as a daily habit. But there's an even more dangerous mistake than downshifting the wrong way. That's when innovation turns into a trap. The trend of downsizing, putting small turbocharged engines into massive vehicles like the Ford F-150 EcoBoost, has created a silent engine killer known as LSPI, low-speed pre-ignition. Picture this. You're climbing a hill. Engine speed is low around 1,500-ish RPM, but instead of downshifting, you floor the gas pedal to push forward. At that moment, cylinder pressure spikes to extreme levels, while the oil pump is still spinning slowly, not fast enough to maintain a protective oil film. The result? An uncontrolled explosion inside the cylinder before the spark plug even fires. It can shatter pistons, bend connecting rods. In a split second. This isn't bad luck. It's the result of an industry forcing small engines to do the work of giants. The only way to protect yourself is to take control. Downshift when needed. Keep engine speed in a healthy range, above 2,000 to 2,500 revolutions per minute under load. And don't let the car's computer fool you into thinking low RPM always means efficiency. Let the engine breathe and let it stay properly lubricated. 4. Short trips are killing your engine. The final mistake and the most common one, only driving short distances under 10 kilometers, about 6 miles. City driving, stop-and-go traffic. You're constantly starting and stopping. An engine needs heat. Your coolant may warm up after 5 minutes. But your engine oil? It takes 15 to 20 minutes to reach proper operating temperature. Only when the oil gets close to 100 degrees Celsius, 212 degrees Fahrenheit, can moisture buildup and unburned fuel slipping past the piston rings fully evaporate. If you only take short trips, that moisture stays trapped inside the engine. It mixes with the oil and turns into a thick, sludge-like substance clogging vital oil passages. That's why a taxi running 200,000 miles on the highway often has a cleaner engine than a grocery car with just 30,000 miles. Here's the simple advice. On the weekend, take your car out on the open road. Let it run, let it breathe, let it burn off the buildup inside. It's the best therapy for both you and your machine. 5. Ignoring the cries for help from metal, a small ticking noise, a faint squeal, a slight vibration through the steering wheel. That's not just how old cars are. That's an early warning from a part that's starting to fail. Take engine mounts as an example. Many people think a little vibration at idle is normal. What they don't realize is this. When that rubber mount ages and cracks, the engine, hundreds of pounds of metal, is no longer held firmly in place. It begins to twist under throttle. It pulls on wiring. It stresses coolant hoses. It puts extreme load on CV axles and the exhaust system. And they want you to ignore it until the mount completely fails. At that point, the damage spreads from the drivetrain to the cooling system. Instead of spending a few $dozen on a piece of rubber, you're now looking at a repair bill in the thousands. So be alert. Be the kind of owner who listens. If the car shakes hard at a stoplight or you hear a dull clunk when shifting gears, fix it immediately. Don't let a small scratch turn into a fatal wound for your wallet. These are the driving habits that cause immediate damage. But this is where corporations set the real trap. They don't need you to destroy your car overnight. They just need you to neglect it the right way, so the machine slowly destroys itself from the inside out right after the warranty expires. Up next, 5 maintenance traps that honest mechanics call the biggest lies of our time. 5 maintenance mistakes. 1. The lie of the lifetime fluid myth. The biggest mistake and the most expensive one is believing in something called lifetime fluid. Luxury brands and even modern mainstream cars love to claim that their transmission fluid never needs to be changed. Don't fall for it. In the real world of physics, no fluid lasts forever under extreme heat and pressure. After about 60,000 miles, transmission fluid begins to break down. The anti-wear additives fade away, and microscopic metal particles start grinding down the delicate hydraulic valves inside. You take your car to the dealer, hoping for a technical solution. But what you get instead is a financial death sentence. They plug in a scanner, read a few lifeless error codes. Then they say calm and cold. The transmission has failed, it needs to be replaced. Wait, that'll be $5,000. That's the trap, and it's designed to be that way. Don't let their laziness and your fear turn into profit for them. So don't wait for failure. Do a simple drain and refill every 40,000 to 50,000 miles. But here's a critical warning. If your car is severely overdue, say 150,000 miles and never serviced, never use a high-pressure flush machine. That pressure can break loose years of built-up debris, sending it straight into the valve body, killing the transmission instantly. Instead, change the fluid gradually. Let the machine adapt slowly. 2. Saving money in the wrong place. Cheap filters with premium oil. Many people are willing to spend good money on the best full synthetic oil available, but then they ask the mechanic to install the cheapest oil filter possible. That's not saving money, that's disrespecting the machine. A cheap oil filter usually comes with a weak bypass valve and low-quality filter media. During cold starts, or when the filter begins to clog, that bypass valve opens too early. And when it does, dirty oil, metal shavings, and carbon deposits flow straight into your engine without being filtered. At that point, it doesn't matter how good your oil is. It's like drinking purified water through a straw packed with mud. Stick with OEM filters or trusted premium lines like Wix XP or Mobilon One Extended Performance. Don't destroy a $1,000 engine just to save a few dollars on a filter. 3. Using the wrong oil viscosity. After 100,000 miles, the high mileage trap. The owner's manual was written for a brand new engine, but once your car passes 100,000 miles, things have changed. Bearing clearances and piston ring gaps have widened due to normal wear. At that point, if you keep using ultra-thin oil like 0W20 just to save a few drops of fuel under modern emission standards, the oil film won't be thick enough to protect metal surfaces. That's when engine knocking begins. But don't make the opposite mistake either. Don't rush into thick oil like 20W50 in modern engines with sensitive, variable valve timing systems. Those engines rely on tiny oil passages. Too thick and you restrict flow. Your car will throw codes almost immediately. The smarter move? Switch to a high mileage oil. These oils are designed with the right viscosity balance, and they contain additives that help swell aging rubber seals, reducing oil leaks in older engines. 4. The forgotten brains, MAF sensor and fuel filter. Most people only think about engine oil, but they ignore the components that control how the engine breathes. A dirty mass airflow sensor, like the MAF sensor, is a serious problem because it sends incorrect data to the engine control unit. That throws off the air-fuel mixture, too lean or too rich. The result? Poor fuel economy, higher engine temperatures, and eventually a burned-out catalytic converter. All it takes is a proper MAF cleaner spray every 15,000 miles. That small step can save you hundreds of dollars in fuel each year. The same goes for your fuel filter and spark plugs. Many people think the car is still running, so it's fine. That's a costly mistake. Worn spark plugs increase the load on ignition coils and cause incomplete combustion. That leads to carbon buildup inside the combustion chamber. A clogged fuel filter restricts fuel flow, forcing the fuel pump to work harder. Unstable fuel pressure throws off combustion and robs your engine of power. Even premium iridium spark plugs should be inspected or replaced in around 60,000 miles. So follow a simple rule. Replace spark plugs every 40,000 to 60,000 miles. Replace the fuel filter based on manufacturer recommendations. Don't wait until the car shows symptoms, because by then, the damage is already done. Just changing engine oil is enough. A fatal assumption. The engine is the heart, but for a car to function properly, it relies on an entire system of fluids. There are 3 you must never ignore. First, brake fluid. This is a hygroscopic fluid. It absorbs moisture from the air. Over time, that lowers its boiling point and causes internal corrosion inside the ABS braking system. Replace it every 2 years unless you want to lose braking power on a downhill road. Second, coolant. After 3 to 5 years, coolant loses its protective properties and turns acidic. It will slowly eat through your radiator, and aluminum cooling passages from the inside out if left unchanged. Third, power steering fluid. If you hear a whining noise when turning the wheel, chances are the fluid is already contaminated. Replacing it in time can save your expensive power steering pump. Maintenance is not just about pouring engine oil into the system and walking away. It's about understanding a relationship between you and your machine. Corporations want you to be passive. They want you to believe in lifetime numbers so they can sell you another car sooner than you ever planned. How to protect your engine from your own habits. Changing your habits is inevitable. It sounds simple, but in an era where laziness is packaged and sold as convenience, changing the way you operate your car is nothing short of a revolution. The battle to protect your vehicle is not fought in the polished waiting rooms of dealerships. That battle happens right here, in your own garage, through real, disciplined decisions. First and most important, become the guardian of your machine. Never hand over full control to a computer or to so-called lifetime maintenance schedules. Check your oil dipstick every week. The color, the smell. That drop of oil on your fingers tells you more truth than any digital dashboard ever will. Second, find yourself a family mechanic. In an age of mass replacement, a seasoned mechanic, someone who knows your car's history, is more valuable than any expensive diagnostic tool. A good mechanic won't tell you to replace an entire engine when a simple seal will do. They preserve machines. They extend life. They protect what corporations are trying to phase out. True mechanical longevity. Third, invest in quality, not appearance. From brake fluid to coolant to power steering fluid, choose OEM or high-quality products, even if they cost a little more. And never delay those longer drives that help burn off moisture inside the engine. According to data from Consumer Reports, owners who strictly maintain all vehicle fluids are 3 times more likely to keep their cars running past 200,000 miles compared to those who only change engine oil. So understand this, buying a modern car today often means leasing a fragile electronic system. In a world filled with cheap plastic and unstable software, don't let anyone convince you that your car is too old. Protect what is real. To drive with your mind, maintain with your hands, and never let anyone take away your control over your own machine. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications if you want to hear the raw truth about the automotive world and how to keep your wallet from being drained by shiny marketing lies.